Hello and welcome back to another episode of Why So Sidious, a Nerd Podcast. Joining me today is my co-host, JD, and we are up bright and early on a Sunday morning, bringing you another edition of Week in Geek, along with our continuing coverage of Maul Shadow Lord. We'll be doing episodes 5 and 6. Some of the big topics, we have a Clayface and our final Spider Noir trailer. We have some comments on the Endgame re-release and maybe why it is important to go see. Superman 2 started filming. And we have maybe Deadpool returning in a side character role. Ryan Reynolds had some quotes on that. Don't forget to check out some of our recent episodes. Yesterday, I hopped on last minute as a middle reliever to come in and save Dave's internet. We did The Boys episodes 4 and 5? 3 and 4.
Isn't it just, they've been doing 2 a week?
Yeah, 3 and 4. I think it's 3 and 4. No. We skipped a week. I think it was 3 and 4, but sorry. And check out our gaming streams. Hopefully I'll be getting back on the Batman soon. Andy's going to start Until Dawn next month. And we do have our Road to Secret Wars. That is up and running again, so please go check that out. Don't forget to check us out on social media, Why So Sidious Pod. Stay up to date on all of our live streams and whatnot. TikTok, Instagram, X, and YouTube. All right, let's get into the big news of the week. Actually, we are here on an anniversary. Avengers Endgame was released 7 years ago today. And oh man, what a 7 years it has been, right?
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Well, the Marvel needs to come back strong, because thinking of it being 7 years and we're still like, can Marvel ever do that again? I don't know. You know, that's a long time for them to have lost a lot of trust.
Right.
And momentum. I think they're gaining it back, though. We'll be all right.
Right. Well, Joe Russo said it is vital to bring Avengers Endgame back to theaters ahead of Victor Von Doom's arrival later this year because the new footage is critical to the story of Avengers Doomsday. So this is interesting to me. I don't know if he's just like trying to hype up the Endgame re-release to make some more money, because what can they really add to the movie to set up Doomsday that doesn't you don't want to change Endgame, right?
So you don't want to change Endgame, and I personally don't want to have to go see Endgame in theaters just to get some critical information. That's not fair. Right. That's kind of gimmicky a little bit. Like, you really got to go buy a whole ticket, sit through this movie that we've seen 20 times already, just to get something that apparently we're going to need to know. So I don't think it's going to be that important. I just think it's going to be a really cool nugget. If you don't see it, I'm just guessing, but I think that you'll be okay without seeing it. With that said, still pretty, I mean, it's not going to be sad to go watch Endgame in theaters.
I might go.
Pretty fun.
I might go.
But like, what could it be? It's got to be something with Steve returning the stones, or Tony's death with the Infinity Gauntlet. I've always said, in a pretty far-fetched theory, if he looks like Tony Stark, maybe it's because as he's investigating all these universes, dream walks into Tony's body before he snaps his fingers and like uses the Infinity Stones for something else. That would be nuts, but that's kind of far-fetched. But it's like got to be something like that. Or that
changes Endgame a little too much, though, you think, right?
Yeah. I think that you could count it as a branch in a timeline, though.
Right.
Like, yeah.
I like the Steve Rogers thing, though, because that's right at the end of the movie. You know, he time travels back, and then we kind of wait for him to come back as old Cap. Maybe there's just like a quick 2-minute scene that they filmed for Doomsday, and they put it back in the Endgame, and it's like him, maybe going like seeing Doom as he's going through the timelines, returning the stones. I don't know.
That sounds spot on. So they recorded, maybe they flash back to what Steve did when he went and traveled time for the stones, and they're like, hey, let's just throw this at the end of Endgame, you know, and get people get people into the seats. And also, do you think that this gives Endgame a chance of taking over Avatar's #1 box office spot? Because that would be crazy.
Because Avatar re-released their movie to get back the top spot. So Endgame's like, hey, you know what? Let's do the same thing.
Yeah. I kind of want Endgame to have that #1 spot, though. It's the most spectacle film ever. Like, ever. It's just according to spectacle and a climax of so many stories and characters. It's like it definitely stands apart from Avatar, which isn't bad, but
yeah. And the first trailer for DC Studios, Clayface has been released. It is set to be in theaters on October 23rd. And James Gunn confirms it's before Superman on the timeline. So it's the first film to be out of chronological order. So what do you think about this teaser trailer? Did it get you you scared? I was a little scared.
Dude, I loved it. I really, really loved it. And it was so disturbing. Yeah, man, just his face in the bandages in the hospital was legitimately scary. Like this, could you name a single comic book movie film that's like actually full-blown horror? Because sometimes they're like, oh, they're doing a little bit of horror with Doctor Strange 2 or something like that, but it's never really that.
Even
horror.
Werewolf by Night wasn't really a horror movie.
Right. It didn't feel very horrorish. This feels like just full-blown horror. And the way his face melts, and we saw him he could change his body into weapons, which, side note, really don't like how many characters can do that in the DCU. We saw that in Superman. Engineer could do it. The Green Lantern can do it. You just create whatever you think and hit people with it. And now Clayface could do it. It's like everyone is just forming themselves into weapons, and that is getting a little annoying. So it's like it's like a homogenization of powers in a way. With that said, looks really badass, and I'm really excited to see how that incorporates into the Batman universe, the DCU. Really excited to get a look at Gotham, and Clayface has a really solid tragic story. I think it's going to be really good, and it was legitimately spooky.
Yes. Yeah, this is our first look at Gotham. It's interesting we're getting it through Clayface and not Batman. And also, this feels like the Pattinson universe. It feels like Matt Reeves is a producer on this. He's obviously directs the Batman movies. And I think it might be kind of a mistake putting this in the DCU. I feel like this could just be an Elseworlds movie because I don't see how Clayface is going to tie into anything going on with Superman or Supergirl at the moment.
Right, but that's good. I don't want, we have plenty of S on the chest stuff going on, and this is a completely different corner. It shouldn't have any super people, which I like it. It does feel like Matt Reeves' universe, the grounded, dark aesthetics, like the world feels realistic, but Clayface himself, and I don't know if it was Matt Reeves or James Gunn who said it, but that is too much for the Pattinson universe. And he said it I saw it on X. He's like, yeah, this isn't Batman's epic crime saga film deal, whatever they're naming it, is not supposed to have like powerful people in there. It's not supposed to have like meta humans.
That's true.
Nick, Superman is being played by a man named David Cornsweet. Still same guy from the Superman 1 movie. But yeah,
maybe he woke up from a coma.
Clayface, I kind of like developing Batman villains before Batman, even though it seems weird. And for like your box office and starting off your universe, to the regular people, it might not seem like a good move, right? Like Batman's going to bring your box office and your fans. But I kind of like developing Gotham first and a weird ass villain like Clayface. So I'm all here for it, and I'm really excited at how actually scary it looked. And like the song in the background about your beautiful face as we're looking at this guy. I think it looks like a good story, and we're getting a look into Gotham, and pretty stoked.
Do you think we see the silhouette of Batman or the bat signal up in the sky?
I just wanted to ask you that too. I don't know. I kind of want to.
Like Creatures Commandos did that, right? At the end?
Right. Creatures Commando did it. James Gunn also confirmed that the Clayface from Creatures Commando is the same Clayface. So I mean, that's fine. So Batman, everyone's on his radar. We're going to get another silhouette, probably. I don't care. I do hope that we get to know at least a few more popular, like Gotham-based characters, though.
That would be cool. Just do like a Joker movie. Or actually, don't do a Joker movie. Do a, Mr. Freeze? Want to bring Mr. Freeze back? Do a little Mr. Freeze series on HBO?
Do some Mr. Freeze. We saw like that Joker. They were in a circus, and there was that green and purple or green and red Joker painting in the background. That's obviously meant to be at least looking like an Easter egg, like, hey, acknowledging a Joker. It's also just a painting in a circus, but still, you're in Gotham, so anything clown related, you're going to jump to the Joker conclusion.
That's fair. No, I'm excited for this. Perfect timing too, 1 week before Halloween. So I think it could make a good $300 million in the box office. We'll see. No one drafted it, of course.
It's got to be rated R, right?
It looks R. It looks like it's going to be
Yeah.
rated R, and DC does actually do that kind of stuff.
Oh, Cap and Trip, thanks for showing up again. I missed the sign, but apparently we have Flying Graysons in the trailer, which would be huge. I'm going to go back and look at that when I see it. I'll be very excited because imagine, I don't know, like you could even introduce a Robin, not a Batman, but a Robin. That would be so sick.
That would be cool.
That'd be so sick.
Because you do need someone to go against Clayface in this movie, right? Like a good guy, like some sort of good guy, because he's not a good guy. Is he sympathetic at all, or is he just? You think they're trying to make him sympathetic?
It's very it is pretty
tragic.
Sympathetic. Very tragic. His story is tragic. You can sympathize with him. Like I haven't read a book where, every book I've read with Clayface, it's tragedy and sympathy because something sad's going on with him. He's been a good guy in the comics too for quite a while. Tinian's Detective Comics. He was actually part of Batman's team. Batman like brought him on to the team he was building, and kind of saw good in him, and he was a good guy for a long time in the comics. So I think we're going the anti-hero route, and it'll definitely be a tragic story and a sympathetic one. But yeah, you're right. Who do you put him against? You know, it's a superhero film, so I would put my money on a different villain being the bad guy to Clayface.
Ooh.
As opposed to a hero. Like if Nightwing's going to be stopping him, then that shit should be titled Nightwing.
Right. Kind of messed up. He's not in the title then.
Yeah.
And we got another trailer for the Spider Noir series, starring Nick Cage. Releases on May 27th on Prime Video. Oh.
Hi, Andy. just a beautiful man saying nice things, and you are a very good-looking man. I'll just say it.
Yes, so actually, Spider Noir, you can watch it in black and white or in color. But did you watch the most recent trailer that came out yesterday? Are you excited? I mean, that's a good cast. Donald Gleason, obviously Nicolas Cage, a couple other recognizable faces. When this first was announced, I wasn't very excited for it, but the more trailers and the more stuff I see, I think I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, it's getting more Spider-Man-y. Like the first trailer, just like, okay, this doesn't feel like Spider. Nicolas Cage does not feel like Spider-Man. So bizarre. Like you dress him in Superman for this Easter egg in the Flash movie, and he sure as hell does not look like Superman. He doesn't look like Spider-Man. He does not look like any comic book character. And that's just so weird. This is the weirdest project that I've ever actually, kind of been excited about. But Spider-Man Noir has also a very tragic story. It's supposed to be dark and gritty. I think I'm going to watch it in color. I don't know if you're leaning.
I'm going to go black and white.
You're going to go black and white? Me too. I never even considered watching it in color. So we're going to go black and white with that one. The trailer I saw was the one that highlighted like certain villains. Is that the new trailer?
No. The new one, it shows like I think he's lost someone close to him, and he gets pushed off the top of the building, and then he shoots the webs out and like swings back around. It looks pretty sick, and there's a couple like action shots. So
that's sick.
Showed him in the suit too.
Well, then they also new footage about these villains. It showed the Electro guy who's not Electro. He's like Megawatt, and I think there was a Sandman.
Okay. It showed Sandman again.
Okay.
Yeah,
it looks way more Spider-Man-y than I expected. We finally get some webs, some swinging. He was swinging over a car,
right?
And I really like how his eyeballs glow when he's behind that guy, and then he turns his lights on. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm still so confused, but it is Spider-Man, so just out of curiosity, I'm very excited to watch it.
Right. And he is a funny character in the Spider-Verse movies. Not a huge role, but funny. So.
And it's supposed to be the same exact one, right? This is the same. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Yeah. All right, so Elden Ring will be A24's largest and most ambitious project ever. The film budget is well over $100 million and will take around 100 days of filming. I think they already started. There was the Dung Eater. I don't know if you saw that Dung Eater being like.
I didn't see anything, but
like being like
Dung Eater
hung or something, and people were like standing all around him. So.
So basically, you could do certain quests in Elden Ring that changes the ending, like once you become Elden Lord. And if you do the Dung Eater quest, it's like it's the darkest ending out of all of them. I'm pretty sure everyone gets infected like Last of Us style. I mean, that's one of the few endings I have not completed, but
Probably good.
Yeah, the Dung Eater is a really weird character. I'm glad they're putting so much effort into it and money. I'm glad they're really committing to this. It does need it. It's huge. Elden Ring playthrough. Oh, that's a great idea.
I've never played it before.
Dude, do it. Just
I might try it.
At least add it to a poll. Yeah, it's my favorite game. It's I play Rocket League all the time, and Elden Ring is my favorite game. Those are my two games. Elden Ring is incredible. I keep finding new things, new caves to explore, new items that I've never picked up, and I've beaten it like 4 times. So, and it's really cool because you could hit people with swords if you want, you could hit them with hammers if you want, but the magic stuff they got going in that game is really cool. You could do
so that's what, because you can be like a samurai or a swordsman or like the magic one. I forgot what it's called.
And the magic one is like easier to beat the game because you have range attacks and you have these this full on like Goku Kamehameha type stuff that really will fuck the enemies up if you have kind of the right stack of talismans and stuff that doesn't drain your energy. A lot of stuff I can get into there, but the gameplay with the magic stuff is so sick. Like you could either do it with a wand or it's called a seal. And they completely different moves, completely different magic attacks you would use, and completely different attributes you would have to commit to upgrading. But such sick gameplay when you're using magic, especially.
It reminds me of Skyrim because that's kind of similar, where you can either be a swordsman or do magic. And I watched like the intro the other day, and it reminds me of Lord of the Rings crossed with The Witcher. That's kind of the vibes I was getting from it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's totally a journey across. I mean, it's like action adventure. It's like a journey to Mordor to claim like yourself as the Elden Lord, and get the corrupt guy out of there who's causing like the whole world to be all death oriented. That was a terrible description, but yeah, very action adventure, high stakes, and very fantasy feeling.
It's long though, right? It's good, like 60 hours or so.
I don't know about the hours. You could run through that and beat it really quickly if you're good and know where to go, because there's like the beating the game. What you have to do to beat the game feels like 20% of everything you can do in that game. Like I could just go beat the specific bosses, get to where I need to go, and finish the game. And there's literally still 100 unbeaten bosses out there deep in some caves, because I want to say there's like 200 or maybe in the 150 plus amount of bosses that you can go find and beat. And like only like 12 of them are needed to beat the game. Maybe 12 or 20, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like a game you might rage quit a couple times, but it does look fun at the same time. Very expensive.
It's gonna be really hard. Yeah, you basically got to go find your wand and get your range weapons going, and then it's actually not going to be that hard. But if you do try to go through that your first time with a sword, you're going to get fucked up a lot, because the bosses are designed to be just stupid hard. Like, so, I mean, every time you play through this game, there's going to be a couple times where you go against a boss and they will one shot you and you're just dead. And you say, all right, I'll try that again. I got to better dodge that shot. And then get a lot of other, it's really hard bosses. That's a Dark Souls thing. That's what they do.
Right. Yeah. You got to figure out their attack pattern. Dodge, block, hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. That will be, it's going to be a good movie. I'm excited for that movie. It's going to be pretty grandiose. But the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, season 3 will release later this year. Wasn't really expecting that.
Right.
We're probably figuring, beginning of next year. So we do have House of the Dragon coming out over summer, and then I'm guessing Lord of the Rings towards the end of the year. So I'm excited. Are you still, on the Rings of Power train?
Still very excited. Yeah, season 2 was better than season 1. I like season 1 more than the general audience. It's apparently, like, a lot of people did not like season 1. I thought it was sick. They're doing great things with Sauron. How did season 2 end? Remind me.
I think
do you remember? We had him. He
created the rings for the elves and the dwarves, and I think it's men now, right? He's going to make the rings for the men in season 3.
Yep.
Right.
We're gonna have to watch through that again because I
Right.
don't really remember what happens, but I know I like it a lot. I love how they're developing Sauron, and Galadriel's pretty badass too.
Yeah. The Gandalf stuff is a little annoying, but I mean, I've almost accepted
Oh
it now.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that one's okay. But I forgot about that.
Right. In the Harfoots, they were like their roles were very much reduced in season 2. You could tell that they
Thank
listened to
God.
the audience a little bit. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the Warner Brothers Paramount merger. It's pretty much done and dusted, all finalized. People try to stop it, but there's some news came out about Warner Brothers last couple years, and it's kind of frustrated me. So Warner Brothers made history with 7 consecutive movies with an opening weekend above 40 million at the box office. Pretty solid. HBO Max recovered from a $2.1 billion loss in 2022, and they made 1.4 billion in profit in 2025. So film and TV operations had a standout year, and like you shouldn't merge with someone else if you're doing financially well. That's not a good reason to merge if you're making $1.4 billion this year. This is just so the guys at the top can, cash out and go retire. So this kind of frustrates me. If the company was failing like we thought, like we knew it was a few years ago, it's like, okay, yeah, like HBO is not doing well, let's merge with someone else. But if you're successful, keep it running.
Yeah. And HBO seems to have there's the kind of standout in quality. Like they put out good shows, like randomly, like True Detective, whatever it is. You got House of the Dragon on there. I really don't want that to disappear because, like, even as kids, and we just watched TV the way we did, HBO was always the go-to. Like, you needed HBO on that list because they always had good stuff. Sopranos. I don't want that. They're like their individuality to disappear. I really do hope that Paramount keeps them as they are and allows them to be kind of somewhat autonomous and
the creatives.
And do what they've been doing, because HBO would probably have to be like my favorite studio for shows and quality. Anything that comes out of HBO is solid, and they're about to just do better and better. They've got Lanterns coming and stuff. Lanterns is going to be a big hit.
Harry Potter comes out later this year, and House of the Dragon.
Yeah, so now they have
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Now they have profit, and they're dishing out a lot of like big IP stuff this year and next year. So you got to hope they just stay as HBO as possible.
Yeah. I mean, Paramount's going to really be cashing out later this year. I'm sure they're happy about the move.
Yeah. And it's never a good thing when things keep merging and money and resources goes into less and less people's hands. We're just getting all kinds of communistic.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some more positive stuff. Marvel Studios will return to San Diego Comic-Con this year. I think it's been a few years they've been sticking to D23 for their stuff, which is not the best look, honestly. When they're like, hey, we're gonna, save all our big news for our Disney event, and San Diego Comic-Con will like send the comic books and the, whatever else, so the action figures over to Comic-Con, and that's it. So I'm excited for this, and it's a big year for Marvel. So it's over summer, correct?
Yeah, Comic-Con? I want to say July.
Yeah.
We, because I was stationed in San Diego and we never got tickets into Comic-Con, but downtown is all closed off. Everyone's got their cosplay on. All the restaurants are packed. There's drinks and there's all kinds of tents and stuff to buy. And it is so much fun, even if you don't get into Comic-Con. So this, I think, last year we moved to Idaho. That's just beside the point. Yeah, I'm glad Marvel's going to be doing stuff, because it's not going to be like CinemaCon where we're not going to see it, right? Like usually things from Comic-Con hit the web the same day.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to have a lot of good stuff to show us for the first year in a long time, right? Like even if they went last year, like sure, we're excited about like Fantastic Four or whatever you got coming up here, but like this is Spider-Man and Avengers. So they're going to have some really cool stuff to show us. And usually they tease stuff really far down the line too. Or like maybe like other movies, like what's coming out, Doctor Strange 3, Time Runs Out. That one I think is going to be coming out. Maybe a Shang-Chi too. So they always tell us because they always put the timeline up on the screen and fill it up. Sometimes they'll go like a phase or two in the future. And
the movie, we never even see half the movies get made.
Yeah. Yeah. So at this point, you can't even really believe them, because last time that's almost why they stopped going to Comic-Con. I felt like because of that. Right. Like, let's make sure we have our shit together. I would hope that never happens again. I would hope they learned lessons, and anything that they announce, they know for sure it will be coming out and it won't be all switched around and stuff. Cause we've seen that a bunch. The titles they're releasing, we don't end up seeing it, or they get delayed a ton. But, I'm really curious what is going to fill the holes in between Doomsday and Secret Wars and X-Men. I bet you they're going to drop some X-Men stuff, because that's been really getting productions kind of starting on that. So can't wait to see what they got.
It actually takes place 1 week before Spider-Man is in theaters. Perfect timing. I'm sure that they'll get like the first 10 minutes of the movie or something,
Maybe the full movie. Don't they do that sometimes?
Yeah, actually.
Lucky bastards. That's probably very likely going to happen. But Hulk, I just want show me a scene of Hulk. We know Hulk's in the movie. I think that's something that's going to get a lot of people stoked. If you show us a scene where it's the real Hulk back, that's the kind of little snippet that I'm looking for. I'm pretty pumped on everything else going on in that Spider-Man movie. The only thing that would make it bad is if they don't do anything cool with the Hulk, like Endgame being one of my favorite Marvel movies. The Hulk is so bad in that, and Infinity War, just the way they used it. So Spider-Man could still be a great movie without it. But if you show me an actual angry Hulk, I will be so excited.
Do you think we get a movie in between Secret Wars and Doomsday? Because I don't think there's anything announced right now.
Nothing is announced right now. Absolutely, they're not going to wait a whole year, right? I wouldn't think. They really got the gears turning now. People are starting to like Marvel again. And you don't go a whole year in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. They're definitely going to drop at least one movie, I'd say. And when's Vision Quest coming out? Is that before Doomsday?
I'm not sure.
Doomsday? That I'm starting to see a lot of hype about. Ultron. It might be more important than we think. I'm getting really excited for Vision Quest.
Yeah, me too.
But I am very confident Doctor Strange 3 will come out. God, I want to say in between Secret Wars, but that would be like, it's not filming or anything yet, right? It's not like the timeline of filming a movie, unless they're doing it super secretly.
Right.
Doctor Strange 3 would have a tough time coming out within a year and a half, right?
Oh yeah, so Daredevil Born Again Season 3, Vision Quest, X-Men 97 Season 2, Marvel Zombies, nothing
shows,
nothing big. But
because Secret Wars is supposed to come out December of 27, right?
Mm-hmm. So there should be something in the summer. Summer of 27 should have Doctor Strange 3, Wanda.
But am I crazy, or is that not enough time if they haven't started filming it? Like once you start filming something, doesn't it take a couple years? Or
no, they can do it in a year. They have to start next couple months.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think Doctor Strange 3 will get announced.
There we go.
Time runs out. Title.
Well, Ryan Reynolds is writing a new Deadpool movie, but Deadpool will be in a supporting role. I don't think I'm ever going to be center again. He's a supporting character. He's a guy that's great in a group. So what would you like to see what kind of group could Deadpool be in that would interest you? Midnight Suns?
X-Force, a real X-Force. Okay. Deadpool is, I think, at his best as a part of a team, not leading the comic or the book. Really, Deadpool comics to me are not all that great, but I love Deadpool when he's a part of the X-Force. And that's perfect, dude. X-Force would be so sick. X-Force is, Scott Summers says, hey, the X-Men need this clandestine group of assassins. Can you do this stuff and not tell the rest of the team and go kill people? And that's sick. Deadpool, a part of a team like that is just perfect. Contrasting, hopefully a kind of a dark, intense stuff going on with a goofball. And I don't see where else they can go besides X-Force.
That's perfect for the X-Men coming to the fold after Secret Wars 2.
Yeah. For sure. If you have X-Men and X-Force going on in Marvel, I'd be so happy.
Right. So Mark Ruffalo has a big mouth. He says Spider-Man will fight an alien in the future. He was at some like interview. It was in Spanish. The lady was like translating for him into Spanish. And he's like, I promise you 1000%. So it's like, wait, like, I'm sure Kevin Feige was like, oh my God, like, keep your mouth shut, damn it. But of course, Venom has been teased in previous Spider-Man movies. And we know, Venom and Spider-Man have to meet up sometime in this, story. So do you think it's Venom or do you think it's something else? Maybe something.
I don't know. So him saying, yeah, it has to be a big name because he wouldn't be all excited about it, talking about 1000%, talking about an alien, because Spider-Man fights aliens. He's a comic book character. He fights a lot of aliens. It's got to be a significant alien.
He kind of did in Infinity War, though.
Yeah, wouldn't you call Thanos is an alien. He punched him a few times. Technically, he fought an alien.
Ma and the other guy.
Exactly. Yeah, so he's already fought aliens. And now I wonder if he's talking about the big question is this in Brand New Day, or is an alien going to be in Brand New Day? Because that would be way bigger news than Spider-Man fights an alien in Doomsday.
Right?
Like, even though it's not galactic, it's more multiversal variants and stuff like that. But still, space. It's very likely he's going to fight a freaking alien. That's not news. But if it's in Brand New Day, that is kind of news. Like, our alien's going to be in this movie. It'd be pretty sick.
Do we need more?
Yeah, right. I don't think he's talking about Brand New Day. I think he's got to be talking about Venom, I guess. But no surprise that Spider-Man's gonna exchange fisticuffs with an alien.
They've done a good job of keeping the villains of this movie under wraps, because there's been like the reports of Mr. Negative, the Hand, but there's not like the big bad of the movie. I don't know. I'm honestly excited to find out.
Tombstone's the most we've heard about, and that's not kind of big. That's not big bad material. That's side villain material. So I have no idea who's going to be the villain in this movie. And it's Spider-Man. You really do need a good, solid central villain. And the fact that it's secret kind of makes me excited. Like, what do they got up their sleeve?
Well, could the villain be Savage Hulk? Because it has been revealed in a Hasbro Marvel Legends toy line, a new toy, Savage Hulk. Sometimes toys released before movies and it is a spoiler. Sometimes it's nothing. Do you think we'll actually get Savage Hulk in this movie?
I do think that's the only reason you bring Hulk back. Everyone is pissed about how they used Hulk in Endgame and Infinity War. Everybody wants Hulk back, as his character is intended to be, angry and chaotic and very strong. I don't think he's the main villain at all. I think the main villain uses the Hulk and unleashes the Hulk, and Spider-Man has to stop him for a little bit, and that's all that is. And the Science Bro stuff is going to be them figuring out Peter's like weird evolution thing going on.
Right.
I think that's what brings him into the story. The villain is behind that somehow, and the villain's going to unleash the Hulk. Yeah, it's just going to be a side problem like Tombstone, but way more fun. But Spider-Man versus Hulk, baby, I'm pretty confident we're gonna get a good fight scene between them. At least Spider-Man trying to stop him. It's not much of a fight, but that would just be so sick to have Spider-Man just desperately trying to stop him, webbing him up, trying to do all these things while Hulk is just smashing everything. I don't even care the context. I'm in.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's my first pick of the box office draft this year. I think it's gonna make $1 billion. So. Can't wait for
that. $1 billion. Dude, maybe $2 billion. I was stupid because I asked that on a Week in Geek. You guys think it'll make $1 billion? And it could be like, it could be in the high billions.
Yeah, No Way Home was like just under $1 billion, but that was like the first movie after COVID, basically.
Right. It's definitely crossing $1 billion by a lot.
Yeah. Mando and Grogu's the one I'm worried about. I actually got tickets for that, and the theater was pretty empty when I went to go buy tickets. It's still a month out, but like other movies like the Odyssey and all that stuff sells out in a second, but hopefully it feels.
Did you get IMAX?
No, just giant screen and Placerville. Okay. Yeah, nothing crazy. So you guys talked about the Marvel layoffs a couple episodes ago, right? About the whole team, or was that Dave and Andy? I remember hearing it in a clip somewhere. Yeah, I wasn't there, but Andy Park Marvel's director of visual development, has exited the studio after 16 years. He did 40 films. He started with Captain America: First Avenger, was the first movie he started in 2010, and he's been there for basically every single movie. So it's kind of sad to see him go. I mean, I never met the guy, don't know him, never heard of him before, but to have like your main VFX guy for the entire, universe be laid off like that seems a little harsh. Right, going to AI instead,
Yeah, I don't know anything about what's going on over there, but yeah, that's right, because we're talking about maybe AI. Very likely is the reason a lot of these
there's like over 1,000 people, right?
Yeah. And this is kind of what we expect with AI. AI is now really actually being incorporated into businesses and life and society. So it's like, what else does that come with except people being replaced by computers? Like AI, you could do so much. So we coded our website because of AI. All you did was, hey, I want this kind of website, codes it up, copy and paste. Back in the day, people used to have to manually type all this shit out, learn the syntax, like know what they're saying to the computers. And now you just freaking say code this. Oh no, I actually want the background red. Oh, here's a image clip. Can you throw that in there here? Oh, can you give me a link to comic book releases? And then blah, 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 it's done in a minute.
It's crazy.
The whole website's coded. So it's that people used to do that. Now people don't need to do that because AI does it. So that's what we could expect. And if we're at the beginning stages of AI, what is this going to look like in 5 years when it just gets, AI gets better and better and more useful, and it's scary.
Right. I know. We'll see though. But the human mind still, I think, beats out AI, at least, because some of the stuff, it just feels so lifeless. AI at the moment. You know what I mean?
There's the soul and the emotion of human beings. Like, that's why I don't know if AI will be able to make movies or write books or create music.
That it's as
at
good.
least yet, but yeah, you need the soul, the emotion. There's a spark there that AI can't copy.
Right. Let's talk a little DC. David Corenswet, of course, the actor playing Superman, and Nicholas Hoult teased Man of Tomorrow. Corenswet says, trying to save the world with your sworn enemy. And Nicholas says, a new villain and an unlikely alliance. So, I don't know, just pretty basic phrases. But filming has begun. So they're moving along with, their third Superman movie or superhero or super family movie. Sorry.
Super movie comic film.
How do you see them working together?
They've done it in the comics a lot. It's a bittersweet thing. Brainiac's got to be the villain. James Gunn first posted when he was working on the script that like the inside of a brain and anatomy thing. It's got to be Brainiac. Got my voice. And the prison filming thing. Did you bring that up?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so that's funny because we were hearing that inmates at a prison where Superman Man of Tomorrow is being filmed are like extra locked down. They can't go outside. They can't do their regular day-to-day. And we, heard a lot about that. Then yesterday, there was this mother of an inmate who had this big, long thank you message to James Gunn because they said that all the prisoners are stoked about it. They get to literally like see Superman walking around, watching filming. They're getting fed, like James Gunn is giving them meals and stuff. And so they're stoked about it. So now it's like, okay, what I don't know what to believe on that. We're getting two sides. It could
like
be American politics, left or right. You never know. Yeah, it could be both. You're right. Because it's like
they're locked down a little bit more than usual, but also they're getting fed well.
Right. Maybe some people just want to go outside and they don't care about food. I don't know, but it is weird. There's a prison sequence in All-Star Superman. By the way, probably the most overrated comic. I don't get it. It's like everyone is they love it so much. And if you don't like it, Superman fans are as toxic as Star Wars fans. If you don't like All-Star Superman, you're fucked. You're not a Superman fan, and you don't even like comics. But
wow,
there's a scene in there that's pretty funny where Clark is interviewing Lex or something. Lex doesn't know he's Superman. and Clark is doing these Superman-esque things behind Lex's back to I forgot, prevent stuff, all kinds of. He's being Superman behind Lex's back as they're walking around, and then Lex will turn around and it's Clark again. Really weird, kind of a fun sequence out of that comic though. And I imagine they're going to play through that. I just, if we're talking about Brainiac, what are you doing in a prison? I think this is an interview. I think this is Clark interviewing Lex, and it's just one good scene.
Right, makes sense.
But yeah,
Pluto's comment.
Yeah. Tell them how I really. That's how I feel. I've caught a lot of flack for not liking All-Star Superman. Okay, and I just don't get it. And I've read through it a couple times. It's not bad. It's just so overrated.
Yeah. All right, some quick Star Wars news. Gina Carano reveals she talked to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau about returning as Cara Dune. We didn't even miss a beat. Jon Favreau was really funny. He got on Zoom and he's like, "So, where did we leave off?" So, I mean, I don't really know where she's going to fit. Maybe she comes back in like the final Mandoverse movie, but I think we've kind of moved on. I think we kind of moved on.
I don't like Gina Carano as an actor. I love her in the UFC. I watched her like when she was brand new.
She's about to fight Ronda Rousey.
For sure, for a rematch, right?
A Netflix fight, whatever they're doing, yeah.
Yeah, and I love her as a fighter. She's, good-looking gal, and she could throw down. I've always really liked her as an athlete and a person. She also, I was listening. She was on a Sean Ryan show, and she was talking about, she did my thing. She moved to Montana, fell in love, and just lives on the land out in Montana. I'm like, that's the way to do it. I really like her as a person and an athlete, but I can't stand her in the Mando movie. She is not a great actress.
She's not.
I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be fine either way. Doesn't really matter to me. Look, Lucasfilm has told multiple Star Wars authors that they can't bring Mara Jade into canon, which makes sense. This is obviously Luke Skywalker's wife from the Heir to the Empire trilogy and the following books and comics after that. So it makes sense. You don't want to change Luke's character now. It's kind of done and it's all in the past, but she is a really cool character. Guess we'll never get to see her though.
She never stood out to me. Mara Jade, I know she was an Heir to the Empire, but for some reason I remembered her as a bad guy, but that's not the case.
No, she starts off as a bad guy. She's
okay, that's what I was.
I think she was the Emperor's hand.
Yes.
And the Emperor, she's she's trying to kill Luke Skywalker at first.
Okay, and then they get married.
Classic. Yeah, and they fall in love. Yep.
Mara Jade's kind of also a whatever thing. Is she like a really, really solid character for the Star Wars fans?
A lot of Legends fans like Mara Jade, yeah.
Yeah, because you hear it a lot. I just maybe haven't read a lot of her material because she branches out of the Heir to the Empire trilogy, I'm guessing. It's not just that.
Right.
Okay, so a significant character that people want to see. I get it. Yeah, and I don't have an attachment to Mara Jade, but nothing against it.
All right, well, quick box office update, then we'll move on to Maul. Dave, might as well just crown him the winner. Let's just end it now. I'm only half joking. I'm also kind of pissed because the movie I drafted last year that got postponed to this year, Michael, opens with $217 million at the global box office opening weekend, the most for a biopic of all time. He's also got Project Hail Mary at $600 million and Super Mario at $800 million. So Dave is really running away with it the first half of the year.
Is Super Mario still in theaters?
Yeah.
Because that should be a guaranteed billion, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll creep up to $1 billion over the next couple weeks.
There's 200 million left to go. It's not like they're making 50 million a weekend still.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't crack $1 billion. Let's hope not, right, Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Project Hail Mary overperforms, but a great movie. So
just
wait, bro. I have a $2 billion film in my pocket. All right.
That's you do.
Two big movies.
Dune Messiah.
And Dune. And I really hope Avengers just goes back a week in scheduling. That will really help me out. That'll give me an extra 100 mil.
And it come out on Christmas weekend too. Right?
Yeah. Well, hopefully only one of them.
Right. Well, Jumanji, I'm kind of worried about Jumanji. That's back there in the same time as Avengers Doomsday.
Do people really like that? I mean, I guess they have high box office, but it's Dwayne and Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah.
Still, so good family movie. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. let's talk a little Maul Shadow Lord. This is your spoiler warning for Maul Shadow Lord. So episode 5, not a lot happens. It's kind of all set up for episode 6, but the Empire arrives. They go in, they start interrogating the police officers, which is kind of messed up. I mean, I feel like it's just the Empire being the Empire. They still call them, and I feel like it's an easy way to get out of it. Be like, hey, I tried to, settle this on my own, and then things got out of hand. So now you guys are here to help, which kind of happens. They do let Lawson go free, but then they're like basically following him right afterwards. So did you like the Empire's presence? Were we missing the Empire in the first 4 episodes?
Dude, I thought they did a really good job making the Empire's presence feel powerful. I don't know why, because we're used to the Empire, but they did a good job separating it from like the society that we've been dealing with, and having them show up. It was like a pivot in story. Like the first part of the story was grounded, getting to meet the characters, the gangs that Maul is manipulating, and then now it's like, oh shit, the Empire is here. Like everything stopped, everybody's plans stopped, and all that matters is, holy shit, the Empire is here. What are we going to do? And I think they kind of nailed that feeling. Yeah. So pretty stoked about that. Like they did a better job than a lot of other, I don't know. It was a pretty menacing presence having them show up.
Kind of Andor vibes in a way, when the Empire comes to, take over a planet, you really feel their presence.
For sure. Yeah. So they did a good job there.
And Merrick is back, of course, from the Acolyte. Oh, no. Was it the Acolyte?
I didn't catch
or it. Not the Acolyte.
Merrick, the villain.
The Inquisitor.
Yeah.
He's in a different show.
Got to be Clone Wars, right?
Clone Wars. I think he's in. Now I'm going to have to look it up.
I will say, Merrick, you can't just have. I like his helmet, but at the same time, you can't just have a dude in a mask show up and expect me to be like, yeah, like they've done that too much. Yeah, he's got a mask. Yeah, he looks scary. His voice is scary, and he's got a red lightsaber. But I need a little more than that. Like you keep doing this mask, a new masked character, and he's supposed to be terrifying, but like they never topped their OG masked character. And I kind of want a little more. He just seems like he's here to wear a mask and throw around a lightsaber. But him versus Devin and Maul was sick. It was sick.
Yeah, it was sick. He's in Ahsoka and Tales of the Empire, to correct that. So he's in the Ahsoka series.
Okay. Devin also had really cool scenes, like her and the frog dude fighting off stormtroopers, which, by the way, the voice actor for the frog dude is just mailing it in. He is so boring. He is not.
You don't like
voicing him? I just don't like the voice on he's not too recognizable. He's just talking. He's just like boringly talking. Every time he speaks, I'm like, God, this guy really didn't put any effort into this voice acting.
I could, that's fair. He's the Allstate guy. That's who I think of him.
Yeah.
The Allstate.
Is it not the same exact guy?
It is. Yeah. Same guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You could tell you immediately have that guy's voice, but he's not trying very hard to actually act voice. Like it's just like he's just reading a script.
Okay. I like his character though. It's a cool little. He does the classic Jedi mind trick, like
that was cool.
and New Hope. You don't need to see kind of
right. I did like that. It's kind of an Easter egg at this point. It's kind of just it's a callback, and I was like, yeah, I like that. You're always gonna like that.
Yeah. And
nostalgic.
Episode 6 opens up with Maul just aura farming on the top. He's like practicing his routine, just twirling the lightsaber around, practicing for when Merrick's going to show up. And he doesn't want to leave the planet too because he wants to bring Devin on as his apprentice. Like the Mandalorians are telling him, like, hey, let's just get the hell out of here. The Empire's here. And he's like, no. Like, I think we need to bring her along. And she's like, she tried to kill you. And he's like, yeah, I like that. That's why I want her to be my apprentice. Docky and Devin, or Docky tells Lawson about how they barely survived Order 66. So they were definitely like along the the Jedi Temple around that time. And then the red saber just comes through the kitchen door and breaks it down. They start fighting inside the apartment, which was pretty cool. You don't see a lot of lightsaber fights inside like people's houses and stuff. So that was kind of cool. very close quarters, and the choreography for this animated show has been really good. Like they know how to do animated lightsaber fights.
The fights are really sick. Like Devin ripping the stormtrooper out of that jet or whatever, that flying vehicle. Like she had a lot of cool scenes. And then that train scene, epic.
Mm-hmm. And when they escaped in the transport, I was waiting for Merrick to do the fucking, remember the helicopter lightsaber thing they did in Rebels and stuff, where they'd fly down, fly away with their lightsaber twirling above their head. It was so dumb but so funny.
Helicopter saber.
Yeah. And this all leads to Lawson being wanted for treason. So now he's an enemy of the Empire, and Two Boots needs to wake up, bro. Like he's like, oh, the Empire's doing the right thing. And then the guy comes up and he's like, what are you doing over here? Take those boots off. Those aren't protocol. And he kind of looks up like, oh shit, maybe I did make a mistake here. So maybe we'll see a little Two Boots redemption arc. I don't know if you want to see that or not, but he might change his ways.
Do you think he's gonna kind of side with Maul eventually?
Lawson?
They're gonna, like a bittersweet kind of team up.
I don't think so. I don't see it.
Just against the Empire.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Common foe,
right?
Yeah. And they go to the casino. The casino girl, the one from the earlier episode, she's like the one person who didn't make a deal with Maul, so she was safe from all that stuff. And they need to get off planet, but the Empire arrives again. So everywhere they go, the Empire is just right behind them, showing up again. Can't stay safe for long. And this is where we get that train scene at the end. And Devin's fighting Merrick at first, and she's doing a pretty good job holding her own. She's like trying to save Riley, the police officer's son. He's kind of annoying. He's kind of all right though. And she's like, or he says, tell me where Maul is. And he's like, I'm right here. And he's just like standing above them. It was so sick. And then Devin like kind of watches them fight for a second and goes, all right, I'm gonna be on Maul's side. And it's Maul and Devin versus Merrick. So what'd you think of that little turn?
That was a sick part where where's Maul? Just shows up like, I'm right here. Let's go. I was like, yeah, dude, Maul is the ultimate aura farmer. This show is just like one of the best aura farmers in Star Wars now. But that was so sick, and the fight was sick. So I like the masked guy. Yeah, what I was saying before is just you can't just throw a mask on some guy and expect me to be stoked about it just because he's here with the red lightsaber. But anyway, that was solid. Great fight. Devin being kind of like the character is like the most interesting character, I'll say. The way she's kind of deciding whether or not she's going to go dark or stay light. So I'm really liking her story. What's their species called? Ryloth. They're Ryloths. If they have they're called Twi'leks, those things that hang off their head.
Well, no, there's Twi'lek as a species too. That's like Ayla Secura.
Oh, you're right. Laku. They're called Laku.
Laku
is what hangs off their head.
Things,
Twi'leks. But she's a cool character, and that fight scene was really cool. One of my favorite scenes so far. Mm-hmm. I really want to see Maul kill this guy, and then that's why the Emperor's going to send Vader, because we did see Vader in a trailer, correct? Or is that no? Okay, that was fan-made bullshit. Okay.
Right.
Well, it's fine if we don't get Vader then. Now I don't think he's going to kill off that guy. I think he'll kill him by the end of it, but at the end, we saw, I mean, he's talking to the Emperor.
I wanted him to respond. I want him to be like, good. Something. You're right about Devin, though. Normally when we get introduced to these new young Jedi, it's like, okay, this is the same story and over again, but this is a little different, and I am enjoying her character way more than I thought I would.
Yeah, same. Getting a little bugged because like Maul trying to be the Emperor trying to kill Maul. We've seen it in Clone Wars. We've read a whole comic about it, and it's just like, it's not going to go there. We know. That's just my one thing with this show is like, if you're going to show me the Emperor, it doesn't mean anything. It's just going to be for fun, and it will be fun. It'll be fun to see the Emperor, but we've seen him try to kill Maul in multiple mediums on page or screen. So it's just like, here we go again. So still going to be fun. The Emperor is always a good time.
Right. Okay. So in Ahsoka, he's like been reanimated by a Night Sister. Remember, Morgan Elsbeth brings Merrick back to life. And then when she kills him, he like goes into like like Night Sister smoke. So Maul could be the one that takes him down the first time in this show, and then he's reanimated in Ahsoka. So we could see him die again.
Oh, timeline wise, yeah. So
Ahsoka's
this is
way
before
later.
all that. Gotcha. Yeah, I was mixing that up. So he's definitely not going to kill Merrick.
No, he can. Because he's reanimated. He's like brought back from the dead in Ahsoka, basically.
Oh, in Ahsoka, he's just dead. He's not alive, and
the
then
the Night Sister reanimates him like a zombie, basically.
When Ahsoka starts, he's already dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And Maul's for sure gonna kill him,
right?
Bouncing right on back.
You think we see any more Inquisitors? Or you think it's just the one? Because if it's Maul and he's telling the Emperor, I feel like he should send like 2 or 3.
I think there'll be more Inquisitors. Yeah, there's a shit ton of Inquisitors everywhere. So
yeah, and he tells them that he's in league with 2 Jedi. You know, there's 2 Jedi and Maul on this planet. So the Emperor's like, all right, maybe Vader does show up. Huh?
Yeah, and you need to have Maul kind of job some other people with lightsabers that he's going to have a good fight with and kill them off or whatever. So I definitely expect Inquisitors.
That duel was great at the end, though, because they start off with single blade on single blade, and then Merrick ignites the duel and starts spinning it around, and then Maul's like, all right, I can do that too. So super sick seeing a duel on dual lightsaber duel.
A duel on dual lightsaber duel. Yeah. No, it was fucking sick. I'm liking the show way more than I thought I would, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I'm pleased.
So there's only 4 more episodes left, so we'll have 2 more weeks of coverage. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Maul besides how excited we are for it?
No, it's
multiple seasons as well.
This doesn't mean anything, but we got the POV of a droid with his like HUD heads up display. Like that was weird. Like we watched him and his little scanners doing his thing like Iron Man. So I was like, oh, that was a first for Star Wars, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Spybot. Are you talking about Spybot? That little.
Oh, it could have been a Spybot. Yeah, just having the POV of a droid, I think, is the first. Doesn't mean anything, but I was like, oh,
that's cool. Yeah. So Dave Filoni still got it when he comes to his favorite old characters. Andy's favorite guy, Dave Filoni. All right, well, that wraps it up. Stay tuned. I think our next episode will be Daredevil Born Again. We'll be covering the 2 most recent episodes. So, how was that last episode? Good? Do you like it?
It was a banger. You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't finished it.
Oh man, it's pretty crazy. That's all I'll say.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time here at Why So Sidious, a nerd podcast.
A nerd podcast.